Thank you very much, Chairperson. In November, Ireland had 13,000. First of all, I'd like to thank Sinn Féin for putting forward this motion. Ireland had 13,514 people, including 4,105 children, in emergency or homeless accommodation, according to the Department of Housing. The homeless crisis in Ireland is growing due to this government's lack of action. This is causing distress for many people, especially children, and is now considered a national problem. Those facing housing insecurity are being overlooked by the political system. The number of homeless people in November 2023 was 335 more than the previous month and 17% higher than in November 2022. Since the current government took office in summer 2020, homelessness in Ireland has increased significantly. The number of homeless individuals has risen from 8,702 to nearly 13,514, a 55.3% increase, including all hostels and rough sleepers. The actual number of homeless people is closer to 20,000. Many others are forced to live in their childhood bedrooms or rely on family and friends. The true extent of Ireland's homeless crisis is much greater than the recorded 55% increase since this government came to power. This shows a growing crisis and a government that seems uncaring. Despite promises, the government has failed to reduce homelessness. This failure has left thousands without a stable home, highlighting the need for effective solutions and commitment to tackling homelessness. The government's handling of the homelessness crisis lacks decisive action and fails to prioritise the needs of the vulnerable. Governments are neglecting the basic needs of Irish citizens. The number of children in emergency accommodation in Ireland has surpassed 4,000 for the first time. This alarming statistic shows the government's failure to address the homelessness crisis effectively. And we can look at the bigger issues and the people objecting, like Deputy Healy-Rae said before that, which is an outrageous scandal, to be quite honest with you, regardless of where the objections are, and people are seen to be just literally driving around looking at planning proposals and putting in objections against people. But also the situation we have in my own constituency, and it probably is in every constituency, is planning permissions, and no one in this government is willing to tackle people that want to get out on their own, that have found their own loans, have their own bit of ground at home, are willing to go through everything that planning permission requires, but they're being hit with one snag after another snag in a brutal effort to make sure they won't get a home in their own farm or their own home. And this, we put forward a proposal last year in relation to log cabins, something that the rural independents were very proud to do so, at least to help the situation. If everybody's working and singing from the same hymn sheet, the numbers will start to reduce. But if they don't, they won't reduce. Log cabins are refused, and it could be a good start for a young person, young couple. They're starting out. I know many young couples started out in log cabins in the bottom of the garden where nobody knew it was there and there was no objection against it. But if they go through the planning process, they're being objected against by the planning. So there is lots of solutions here that will help, but you're not working towards them solutions. Thank you, Chair.